Hi guys, today we're flying modernized F15 Eagle with the AIM-9 axis instead of those AIM-9Ms and the two additional AMRAAMs. Later video we will be flying F15 with those amber racks with the 4 additional AMRAAMs, but I like 2 additional AMRAAMs better because less of a drag. Apparently those double racks produce ridiculous amount of drag after recent updates, and the extra speed is always more preferable than extra missiles, because without that speed they cannot go as far as you need them to go, and then what's the point of having more of those missiles if they have less range effectively. Plus I'm trying to come up with the right shade for the HUD, because in cases where you have to go against the sun you cannot see anything on the HUD, and this shade provides you with good visibility. Probably most important thing to add to the F15 is the Datalink equivalent. That would help a lot with the situational awareness. As we all know, today F15C has the pretty powerful Datalink along with all other upgrades of its avionics, and to really see how F15 will perform with that ability to see everything around it, and what kind of difference will it make compared to the completely blind Eagle. Thus, with the fog of war option enabled, we have a DIY Datalink screen that we made out of the F10 page. There is a customly created color palette for the F10 page. I will provide the link to that in the description. Those colors a little bit closer to those green colored radar, RWR, and the MFD colors, more like a huge radar screen inside the AWACS or something like that, instead of like a cardboard like original color scheme. I don't know why Eagle haven't got the mids Datalink, because they had like at least 25 of those Eagles back in the 80s having those mids Datalinks, and 25 airframes equipped, I think more than enough to be implemented in DCS. I mean, look at the Su-33. Altogether they had like 2-3 dozens of those planes, and they still implemented the whole jet. Why not to implement the Datalink with the Eagle? But anyways, yeah, that F10 page, although not as informative as some of the Datalinks could be, it's still a huge help. You're not blind anymore. Although you have no readings on the speed and the altitude of the contacts unless you click on them, and it is in no way OP because you don't have the readings of the altitude, as I said, or the speed. Until you like release your stick, grab the mouse, catch the bandit with your mouse, click on him, and then you have to see those readings in the lower left corner. And if you have multiple bandits, imagine yourself doing that multiple times. But at least you can see their directions. If you will choose the symbology inside the settings, instead of NATO, if you select the Russian ones, they will appear like that, where you can immediately see their bearing. In this match, we're fighting the Chinese flankers, armed with PL-12 and PL-8. Those are Su-27, which stands for J-11, Su-30 for J-16, and Su-33 for J-15, to get as close as possible to present-day air combat, where it becomes more like a duel instead of safari. So it would be like jousting with the knights armed with lances of equal length, which is far more exciting for those pilots who like the competition element to it. Hit. It's a shame you cannot rename those airframes to whatever you like. At least so that it would be possible to have the hit messages showing you like J-15 instead of Su-33. As I mentioned a couple times before, PL-12 and M120 are similar missiles in performance, range, the guidance a little bit different among other things. Because weirdly enough, DCS for quite some time has those Chinese missiles, for 2 years actually, without Chinese AI jets that should carry them. How weird is that? What are they afraid of Chinese government saying something to Russian developers and making a couple of AI jets? Hit. So Eagle, armed with the AIM-9Xs and provided with the Datalink, is quite a freaking beast. I must say. You can install this F10 page skin and see for yourself. You can connect via IP address to those servers that allow custom textures like our server does, if you have this skin enabled. For some reason, servers that allow custom textures still won't let you connect like usual way, like double tapping on the server name. So the only way to connect to the servers is through IP. I mean, you have to put in IP into the that line that requests it, and only then you might be able to connect. That's the DCS glitch. But keep in mind that the red sticks on this server can reach the same distance as blue sticks. And if you'd like to test your BVR skill against peer enemy, then feel free to visit this server. This is the most challenging BVR because it has like the competition element to it that vanilla IC protected DCS server can offer for those pilots who like to charge and not afraid to get splashed. Because let's face it, man, you probably was or will be splashed countless times. The only thing that matters is how many of them you can splash and take with you. That's the way you get good at it. I mean, first I got splashed countless times, and my only goal was to achieve the state and that level of skill when my KD would get to like 1-to-1. And after that I started to developing skill of not getting splashed myself as often as I was splashed before. At first I kinda didn't care about all the minimum abort distances or anything like that. I was charging like crazy, and my only goal was to splash as many as I can before they got me. And I got pretty good at it, at splashing enemies, but every sortie was like a one-way ticket. And after that, gradually I started to increase the launch distances until I got to that kind of a sweet spot where I could launch the missile and with a pretty good probability splash the bandit and still could get away myself from his missile. And that's how I got to more or less decent level at it. And after some time it got old fighting blue and blue to get that modern BVR experience. And that's where Chinese flankers come in, that are long overdue in DCS. And it's a true challenge fighting them, which we will continue doing in the future videos. So see you later guys, cheers.